The 14th Annual Book Fair. Thankfully, we can say 14 years, and it's a pleasure to hear Suja say, this is the best one every year. That is an expression of growth, an expression of true growth, because every time you do a great one, you have to outdo yourself the next time. And I must say, just looking at the lineup and looking at the size of the booklet this year, it really seems as if this is really the best one, so it will be an even bigger feat next year. However, I have no doubt that the assistance or the collaboration with House of Nehesi and Conscious Lyrics Foundation, that it will indeed be an uplifting, intellectual, exploratory event for all involved, both presenters as well as those attending workshops and enjoying lagoon cruises, etc. The science of it, I believe the Prime Minister in his address, which you can read in the booklet, gave a very good rendition, and listening to Dr. Guadalupe, I said I better leave that alone. However, the science of it and looking at the lineup for this weekend, I see that there will be an immense amount of study, an immense amount of exploration into literacy, the literary word, why you write, why you express yourselves. And I think that this is a wonderful way to continue to promote literacy. Walking around at the back, you saw literacy productions for children, for adults, historical, cultural. And of course, being an educator first and foremost, I was drawn to children's books, as I see them as a vehicle to promote the love of reading, which was always my first hobby growing up, and I believe opens up the world in your dreams, but also in your actions. So I celebrate with Conscious Lyrics and House of Nehesi in this 14th event. I wish them continued success on behalf of the government and people of St. Martin, and I know that it will be exactly that, an exploration, an education, and a promotion of literacy, science of it. Congratulations and much success to all.
In my capacity of Territorial Council in charge of culture, it's a real pleasure to represent the government of Saint-Martin people at the 14th Annual Book Fair. It is also an honor to express myself on behalf of President Aline Anson, who cannot be with us tonight. At the present moment, she's in Cuba, and Havana, Cuba, of course, for the official membership of St. Martin at the ACS, Association of Caribbean States. Thank you. Our territory works hard to be part of the large Caribbean region and to develop cooperation between the Caribbean states, islands. Therefore, we are convinced that this is one of the paths we should take to find opportunities to develop our economy and our way of life. This book fair is the perfect example, I say perfect example, of a successful cooperation in the field of culture, and particularly in the world of literature. Our island is full of many talents, and thanks to the organizers committee, Madame Jacqueline Sample and Mr. Alex Suja, for having the idea of creating a festival dedicated to literature. This year's book fair provides us with opportunity to discover an exciting theme, the science of it. For the first time, the book festival will deal with science fiction and forensic sciences. Solving crime, as we see on television, can be passionate to us, indeed. Within the book fair, we have the leisure to meet the famous Canadian author, Nalo Hopkinson. I hope I pronounced her name right.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, yes. A renovation, that's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
Life is a journey full of connections. You're in safe hands even when life starts too soon. You don't have to miss a single beat. When a bad hair day makes you sad, just sharing can bring you joy and more to come. They take the plunge, turn fear into faith, while you capture those beautiful moments. In the game of life, it's family that counts. They'll be there even when you lose. We all have our moments of reflection and hope. And when you feel you're losing everything in life, we're there because there's more to come. When life starts too soon, you don't have to miss a single beat. We're here to connect you and share life. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Government's focus on expanding opportunities for students to be able to study in the U.S. and in the region is in no way a statement of we do not want to send any students to the Netherlands. That is, of course, the good right of every Dutch citizen to apply for study financing within the Netherlands, and we continue to facilitate that as well. With the results that we have been booking recently, it just is more feasible, though more expensive in the onset to send students to the United States. The return on that, the amount of students that return, the successes that they book percentage-wise is much, much higher than to the Netherlands. This is just the reality of the statistics that we have, and it is in no way an indication that we do not or we are moving away from sending students to the Netherlands. It has been a general progression in regression of numbers and a progression of numbers on the other side based on students also, parents, as well as a direct result of the language of instruction on St. Martin being for the majority part in English. So basically, on my trip with the study financing department or division to the United States, we started in St. Augustine, Florida, with a new college, the Flagler College, where we signed an MOU with that college for our students to be able to attend, which is a plus for our students on St. Martin to have another choice where we have an agreement and it is then more feasible for the pockets of their parents as well. Of course, to study in the United States is expensive. Many students are only able to do so due to contributions, not just from the financing that they receive from government, but also that parents have to put in. Of course, in colleges such as Monroe and TCC, the funding that we have received or they receive from government to date is usually sufficient to cover it. But of course, as tuition, etc., continues to increase within the United States as well, that increasingly becomes more input from the parent side as well. From St. Augustine, we moved up to New Rochelle and the Bronx, New York, where the MOU that we already had for 5 years is basically running out, and so we had to renegotiate, and that has been reviewed and will be adjusted to be signed in time to accommodate our students. Of course, the agreement so far that we have will continue to be valid until the new MOU is signed. We then went back down to Florida, where we met with the manager of the city manager, as well as the mayor of Tallahassee, in revising and revamping a 17 or 16-year agreement that has been in existence, where it is not only on education level, but basically in the past years, we've only been benefiting on an education level. So yesterday in the Council of Ministers meeting, I was able to share with my colleagues opportunities where other ministries will be able to collaborate with the city of Tallahassee for us to be able to bring much needed programs as well as trainers and the like to St. Martin based on that same sister city agreement. The city of Tallahassee is still very much willing for us to do even more collaborative efforts. In fact, we had discussions on the level of sports and culture as well, which I am also responsible for. So it was also a very, very positive meeting. Of course, having 3 colleges, which we already deal with in the Tallahassee area, we were able to visit 2, the Florida A&M University as well as the Tallahassee Community College, where we of course review the MOUs we had with them and will be revamping those as well moving forward. Very, very positive discussions. As I must say, very positive feedback from these schools in how our students are performing, etc. Based on the city agreement, the city arranged also for us to visit some of their parks and recreational facilities to see how they are run and based on government funding, and so they will be also assisting us in being able to do such on St. Martin as well. And we met lastly in Tallahassee with the St. Martin Tallahassee Association, which assists us in being able to facilitate the way we fund our students and will be also key in all the other agreements that will be making with the city of Tallahassee moving forward.
Oh my, what an inventory list, and so unnecessary. But wait, your home contents are all insured by Be Sure. That means that you determine the amount you want to insure. No inventory list, no hassle.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
Bob, I can understand why you're parking so carefully. Of course, when you can get 80% discount on your Be Sure car insurance. But that's overdoing it, Bob.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
Yeah!
Here we go. This is freedom, this is life. Happiness is all I'm seeking. Carpe diem, I'm seizing every day, not just the weekend. Here's to all the good times that have come to last. Here's to living in the now.
When you can afford what you crave, life just gets so good.
Alive and I'm feeling good, so good, so good, so good. Hey, I'm gonna live my life feeling good.
KFC. So good for everyone.
These are the doors that never close. These are the hands that make a difference. These are the walls that could tell countless stories of helping and healing, of storms weathered, of change and growth, of a place where life begins, where hearts are mended, and where hope grows stronger. For more than a quarter of a century, the physicians, medical professionals, and staff of St. Martin Medical Center have combined advanced medical technology and compassionate care to bring a world of medicine to our friends, neighbors, and visitors to the island of St. Martin we all call home. As proud as we are of what we have accomplished, we believe there is still much work to do to continue a proud tradition of providing everyone in our community with the latest technology, the best medicine, and the most exceptional care. St. Martin Medical Center, celebrating 25 years of serving, caring, healing.
Curacao and St. Martin, there's a protocol that's about to be finalized. I think 3 out of the 4 have signed already, and that is expected to be completed on short notice. Quality control, again, healthcare is not something that is specific to our particular island. And again, some of the lessons that are learned by the other partners are lessons that I would like to see that we can incorporate here in St. Martin. So in particular, they have a referral committee for all of their referrals abroad, and also how they do their peer review. And I believe that this is something that is, again, an area of cooperation between the different ministries. The other thing, of course, is coordinated purchasing. By bulking our purchases together, I hope that St. Martin can negotiate better prices. And this is both for our referrals of our patients abroad, but as well as an exchange of specialists. If we can bring specialists in that would rotate through the Dutch Caribbean, we believe that that would offer us specialties that are not currently available in a cost-effective manner. And of course, coordinated purchasing on medical products, drugs, prosthesis, things like that. Next photo is a tour from the hospital. So I did take the time to make a tour of the old hospital and the hospital under construction. And again, as I alluded to earlier, much of their cost overruns are actually related to planning issues. So they've moved the location of the hospital a couple of times, which of course causes delays and therefore increased expenses. And then the location they finally picked is right next to the old hospital, and they've had to demolish portions of the old hospital to fit the new hospital. Obviously, that's added extra costs. But they've also found, for example, there were cables that were running right through the property, so there was fiber optic cables and things that had to be moved. So again, all of these cause delays and cause extra price. And I believe these are things that in our process of the new medical center, we've been very cautious about in our planning process, but certainly we will look at each of the issues that have cost extra time and money for their project to make sure that we're incorporating it into our project to make sure we don't have the same issues. And as I have mentioned, to make sure that the contracts ensure that there's transparency for the project, regardless of what government's in place. Everyone should be able to access certain information, and I believe that will help to make sure the project moves smoothly. In general, the impressions, the construction, the hospital's quite a large hospital, 300 and something beds, but they're adding facilities. And again, one of our discussion points is I think that within the kingdom we should be looking at how are we cooperating in terms of development of services. In the same way that we're coordinating the development of services with the French side to make sure that we're not competing, I think the same principle applies to Curacao, Aruba, and St. Martin. So that's also an area that we're looking at cooperating.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Shep, Su, Neteru, God for true, God of me, amen, let I be born again as a freedom fighter. Never let I see wrong things and let them pass. Let I make it right. Never let I suffer slackness to prevail. Let I make it tight. And when Britain, Rome and Babylon set bait to trap I, never let I bite. Well, alright. Satan send you rope to hang I, use the Bible and the gun to bang I, and after 400 plus years, only the blues sang I was caught in a colonial prison, but the ancestral spirit sprang I was asleep, but now I am awake, African culture rang I, rang I, rang I. Nowadays they don't use chains and whips, strictly their brains and tricks, standard bastard English to abuse, misuse and confuse I, and force I to comply, but even in my speech that rebel spirit runs deep, so when I reply, it's pure slang high. They ask me please, may I sir, can I? And I tell them now, you can't get what you want. from me again, can't fool me again, can't trick me again, can't come round me again. I am one made of thousands and 10, smile and laugh with my friends. But with you, I stand screw and bang. So they come after my children with their MTV and their BET to pimp, slap, kidnap and brainwash them. Not to mention their Fox News, their BBC and their CNN. Cause you see the media that they're feeding ya is their delivery system for all kinds of slow burning, slow working social poison. But for as long as the African has been locked in, I have been outfoxing all their tricks and psychosocial neurotoxins. And I am still here. After all that I had to bear, it's time that I shed I fear. And with patience, perseverance, and persistence, build an impregnable resistance to their political and social virus that afflicts us. Singers and writers and players of instruments, you must conquer your fortune and fame lust. Singers and writers and players of instruments, the ancestral springs are in thee. So let us use our artistry to build immunity in the community, so that one day coming soon, one day coming soon, one day coming soon, we will be 100% colonial cancer free.